Welcome into the Sports Zone. You're looking at a live look inside the Houghton High School gym where a crosstown rivalry is on deck. The Houghton Gremlins will play host to the Hancock Bulldogs. Now this game just got started here a few short minutes ago. And if you know me, then you know I love a good rivalry matchup. Both of these teams are working through some growing pains this season, but I am excited for this matchup nonetheless. Make sure you stay with us for an update from this game at the end of the show. Hello everybody and welcome back into the Sports Zone. I am your host Haley Shongart, and as you can see I am missing my other half today as I am solo this week. No worries though, Jake Durant will be back next week. I feel like I can speak for the both of us whenever I say that we are so excited to be back for another episode and happy to have you all with us. As always, we have to tip things off by taking a look back at our game of the week. We had a big GNC clash last Friday night when Kingsford traveled to Escanaba to take on the Eskimos. These two teams are the top two teams in boys hoops. Escanaba was looking to defend their home court against Kingsford. Nick Nora is going to lead the Flivers against Colin Hudson and the Eskimos in the first. Hudson passes it to Connor Smale, who is money from behind the arc, 3-2 Eski. Brody Cott passes it to Cole Millala, who does it all himself. He's going to drive to the hoop for the smooth finish. Kingsford now down by 1. Just a little bit later, Moe's on the fast break, and it's Casey Bray with the lay-in to tie it up at 14. Eski still at it. Colin Hudson may be tall, but he can do it all with a nice spin move and finish. 18-16 Eski. Now in the second, Nick Nora showing us why he is so good. He gets the bucket and the and one, making it a 1-point game. Back and forth now as Michael Meneguzzo takes it to the rack. The Flivers will now trail 24-23. Escanaba not getting phased at all as Trevor Brown sends it to Connor Smale, who makes it just look so easy. Eski up 31-29. Jumping to the third quarter now, Eski now trailing. Bray finds Hudson off the inbound and he drains it for 3. Eski ties it up at 38. Kingsford with the steal, and Brody Kopp goes coast to coast and does it all himself to keep the Flivs in this game. Tied at 40. The time is now winding down in the third. Cole Millala dishes it to Nick Nora, who nails the three-pointer. 46-45 Eski. Late in the game now, the Moes looking to steal this one away, and Connor Smale does just that with the fingertip roll-in. Escanaba would hold on with some good defensive play to close the game out. Eskimos will beat the Flivers by a final score of 62-55.
It's good. We've been struggling, but we're getting back together. It was a great team win a GNC game. It's always good.
I'm just really happy. I think the whole week in practice we worked hard. We went through a lot of stuff and we were just focused.
I went in the locker room at halftime. I said that was the first key, was our bench. And at the end of the first half, we had Caden Brown, Adam Willett, Lucas Weaver came in. We were able to hold on to the lead 35-31 or 35-34. And, we kind of played 2-3, and then in the fourth we went man and held them to 8 points. And, we were down 2 going in the fourth, so the bench was huge for us.
Now make sure to stay with us. When we return, we'll take a look back at our top 3 plays from last week. That's our top 3 on 3 coming up after the break. And welcome back into the Sports Zone. It's time to go over our updated team rankings as the basketball landscape continues to take shape. We will kick off with boys divisions 1 through 3. Not much movement here. After last week, the Menomonie Maroons will keep that top spot to no surprise. They sit at 14-1 on the season. Eski will jump up to that number 2 spot. The Flivers will fall to number 3. The Jeffers Jets coming in at number 4. And rounding out the top 5, we have the Westwood Patriots. The Marquette Redmen will get an honorable mention for this week. Now moving on over to Division 4, Rudyard will stay perfect and on top of our rankings this week as they keep their 11-0 record spotless. At number 2, we have the North Central Jets. Munising will move up into the 3rd spot. ETC comes in at 4, and Norway moves back into our rankings at number 5. Wakefield Marinesco, they will get an honorable mention this week. Now it's time for some girl power up in here. We will kick off with the girls divisions 1 through 3. Calumet moves back into the top spot this week. The Houghton Gremlins will come in at 2. St. Ignace makes a huge jump up to that 3rd spot. Sault Ste. Marie coming in at number 4. And Negaunee will round out the top 5 for the ladies. The Hancock Bulldogs will get an honorable mention this week. On over in Division 4 for the ladies, the Baraga Vikings on top for another week at 13-1. The Carnado Wolves secured that number 2 spot. Ewan Trout Creek stays put at number 3. Pickford will come in at number 4, and Engadine will come into our rankings at number 5. Munising, Rudyard, and Ontonagon will get honorable mentions. And now it's time to reveal our top 3 plays that we've witnessed since our last show. These plays were so good, Jake Durant had to stay at home so he could enjoy them from the view from his couch. Here's our top 3-on-3 plays of the week.
Number 3.
For our number 3 play of the week, we go to Escanaba. Colin Hudson is one of the best leapers we have up here in the UP, and he has made dunking a habit. Here he skies to the rim for a 2-handed putback slam. Westwood put up a fight in this one, but it wasn't enough. The Moes get this win over the Patriots. Congratulations, Colin. You get our number 3 play of the week.
Number 2.
And for our number 2 play of the week, we head to Manistee. The Emeralds hosting Gladstone on Monday night. Manistee down 1 with the time winding down. Parker Graffos launches the 3 at the buzzer for the win. Cash money. Graffos with the clutch 3 ball as time expired to give his team a memorable victory over the Braves. Emeralds faithful celebrate. Congratulations, Parker. You get our number 2 play of the week.
Number 1.
And for our number 1 play of the week, we go to Marquette. Menomonie at Marquette. Cooper Conway with ice in his veins, drilling the 3-pointer at the buzzer in double overtime to send this game into triple OT, where the Maroons would eventually top the Redmen. It took not 1 but 2 buzzer beaters for Menomonie to take down Marquette. Congratulations, Cooper. You get our number 1 play of the week. And coming up on the Sports Zone, we visit a team who took to the hardwood with just more than a win on their minds. But before we do that, we'll take a look back at which players were in the zone and stuff the stat sheet. That's coming up next. Welcome back into the Sports Zone. It's now time to take a look back at some big-time performances from last week and the first part of this week. These players were definitely in the zone. We'll start with the ladies. Berga's Corey Jahetson led all scorers with 23 points in a win over North Dickinson last Monday night. Manistee's Brooke St. John tallied a game-high 21 points in an overtime victory over Gladstone on Monday night. Escanaba's Mari Bink scored a team-high 19 points to lead the Eskimos past Kingsford on Tuesday. Westwood's Natalie Profit scored 20 points to lead the Patriots over Iron Mountain. And Munising's Jenna Matson exploded for 32 points to help the Mustangs outlast Forest Park on Tuesday night. And Iron Mountain's Oscar Kangas scored 32 points in a victory over Ishpeming on Friday. Menomonie's Cooper Conway was clutch down the stretch for the Maroons against Marquette Friday night. He finished with a game-high 24 to lead the Maroons over the Redmen in triple OT. Escanaba senior point guard Casey Bray had a career night in a win over Westwood on Monday. Bray scored a career-high 14 points to go with 5 assists and 3 steals. Marquette's David Eberhard dropped 17 points on Tuesday night to help the Redmen hold off the Gladstone Braves. And Forest Park junior guard Sam McKissick led all scorers with 19 points in a win over North Dickinson on Tuesday night. Now, winning is a goal for any team when going up against a competitor, but the Carnado boys team took to the court earlier this week with more than just a win on their mind.
Yeah, we started doing this a couple of years ago for cancer victims and stuff like that, and it's just a great cause. You know, every community is affected by cancer, so.
The Wolves faced Norway on Tuesday with a special person in mind and on their backs.
Yep, my grandfather and other multiple people in my family have.
Someone very special. I wish I could shake his hand and say hi to him.
I picked Becky Skroback as the back line. It is my mother-in-law. She's battling cancer right now, so I thought it was, you know, appropriate, and she's fighting hard, so I just wanted to show my support in whatever way I can.
The team donned purple jerseys and special warm-up shirts with the names of individuals who have been affected by cancer.
I think, I don't know if it was my dad's idea, probably about 5-6 years ago to start doing it, and it, you know, it's good. it means a lot to the people too to watch with their names, get to see their names out there and stuff like that, or the people that have not survived cancer. It's good, you know, for their family to see it.
It feels good to represent them, to honor them.
This is a play they'll run year after year.
Yeah, you know, that's one of the most important parts about coaching. Instead of the wins and losses, it's more about, you know, becoming a better person and stuff like this. And I think this is one thing to show them, you know, a way to give back, even if it's in a little way, such as a name on the back of the shirt. It's good to be part of a community and to give back.
No matter the score on the scoreboard when the time expired, this game meant so much more than a notch in the win column.
It's probably one of the specialist games I probably ever have in my life.
Yeah, you know, this was probably one of our best games of the season. Our kids came out, you know, played really, really hard. Our defense was good. And it was fun to see them play hard. You know, it's kind of hard not to play when you got names on the back of your shirt of people that are battling something way harder than a basketball game.
Coming up on the Sports Zone, we catch up with Sam Larson and the Menomonie boys basketball team after that thrilling win against Marquette, and we'll meet this week's Player Spotlight. That's coming up after the break. The Houghton Gremlins are having a phenomenal season, sitting at 13-1 on the year. They seem to be getting better as the season goes on. They're led by their 2 senior captains, but it's the contribution of the junior class that really has been the key to their success. Junior point guard Megan Truella is the orchestrator of the Gremlins offense, and that's the reason she's this week's Player Spotlight.
The Houghton Gremlins flourish pushing the pace, and it's ignited by junior Megan Truella.
As a team, one of our go-tos is moving the ball down the floor and fast break, and she kind of starts that off for us. She can get the ball up the floor quick with a pass, and she can also dribble, hard up the floor. She takes on an opponent's top offensive player, and when we see pressure, she kind of spearheads that for us as well.
We have a lot of fast girls on our team, so we're able to get the ball up faster than the defense is able to set up, which creates a lot of opportunities for us on offense where we can get layups or open shots whenever we want.
Truella brings unique speed to the court, but always seems to be under control.
This year I feel like she's come back faster than she was last year and more confident, and as a result in the position she plays has really put our team into motion.
Our whole team just flows better with her on the floor. She really gets us into position with our offense. Most of our offense runs through her, so when she sets it up, we all run smoother. And she's a very good leader as well. She motivates us to do our best.
When Truella isn't getting her teammates involved, she's able to create offense on her own.
She can work off the dribble, she can blow past defenders anytime, anywhere, and she also has that jump shot, so if the drive isn't there, she's able to pull up and shoot over to her defender.
I think I can get to the basket, and I have my teammates that I can pass out and shoot, and I trust them hitting those shots, and we got to push each other, and I think we need to step up on our defense more, and as a team, we just got to be ready and go in how we have been.
Truella's success begins and ends with hard work.
Our entire junior class has been talked to about just putting extra time in, and you won't come here to our gym at 6:50 in the morning and not see Megan working on her game. There's no secret to success, and Megan understands that, and other players are doing the same thing, and it's just created a very nice season for us.
And with that work ethic, good chance we see Truella go down as one of the greats at Houghton High School when it's all said and done.
Over the years, we've had some very good ball handlers and point guards, and she ranks right up there with them, and they're just like a coach on the floor. And not only with her skills, but with her understanding of the game.
It's really great to just be on the team, and we have 9 juniors, so we're a strong grade. It's just fun having our 2 seniors captains, it's just overall good being a Houghton Gremlin.
It's going to be hard for any team to outdo what transpired last Friday night when the #1 Menomonie Maroons basketball team traveled to Marquette to take on the Redmen. The fans packed Barb Curl Gymnasium and got all of their money's worth and then some. We had multiple lead changes, some big-time clutch moments with both teams just leaving it all on the floor. It was absolutely amazing to see. The conference rivals went back and forth in regulation, only for the game to end in a 52-52 tie. With the Maroons down 59-56 in overtime, Aiden Belisle drilled a step-back three-pointer to send the game into double overtime. Cooper Conway would then bury a three-pointer at the buzzer to send the game into a rare third overtime, where eventually the Maroons would separate themselves and win the game 86-77. We caught up with Sam Larson, the head coach for Menomonie, to talk about that thrilling win for his team.
Both teams had plenty of chances to win it. A long ways before it ever got to triple overtime. You know, we had 2 free throws with 3 seconds left to win the basketball game. We missed it. They had a shot at the end of regulation that they could have had. You know, we had a couple open looks in that first overtime that just didn't fall for us. They're shots that probably most of the time we'll get down, and they didn't fall. And next thing you know, Marquette comes down and bangs a 3. So you know, it seemed like both teams were just throwing punches throughout that entire fourth quarter and overtime, and neither team would really budge, and it just kept on extending. So I think it was one of the better games that the UP has probably seen in a long time. Great for our kids though, great for the experience. I'm sure if you were a fan at the gym, it was probably a great thing. I had our girls coach texted me after the game and said, well, that was fun. And I said, you have a unique definition of the word fun. But it was great, just an awesome atmosphere. I thought the crowd was fantastic throughout the whole game. A lot of energy in the gym, and awesome experience for our kids.
Larson says a win like that can go a long way for his team as they eye a deep postseason run.
And during that week, we had 2 games against Escanaba and Marquette where we faced sizable leads in the third quarter and found ways to dig our heels in, get stops, and execute on offense and get ourselves back in the game, which I think is huge as you start to make a playoff run down the stretch. You have that in your back pocket that you know you're capable of doing that. Obviously, you don't want to get into those situations, but you know that you're capable of thriving in those situations and still being successful. So.
Stay with us. When we come back, we'll reveal our next game of the week for the high school basketball season. You won't want to miss this. That's coming up next. And welcome back into the Sports Zone. We are going to go to Houghton for our live look at their game against Hancock. This game just went into halftime. The Gremlins are leading over the Bulldogs, and you can really tell that their offense is key. Earlier in the season, everyone was talking about Houghton and their offense and their defense. They really tried to switch up their gameplay. They started sending 2- and 3-man traps on the ball defensively, which when you see that against, big teams, Kingsford, Esky, they're going to blow right through those. But offensively, they've kept up. Originally this season, they started doing a lot of shots from behind the arc, way out there, really trying to get those balls in. And clearly they are doing it. They are beating Hancock by almost double what Hancock's score is. So they've kept that up, and they've clearly honed in on that. Stay tuned with us for later in this week. We will have highlights from that game as well as post-game reaction from the winner. Make sure you tune back into Local 3 News next week at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And now we are going to look ahead at some next week's matchups. This one is going to be good. Round 2 between the Houghton Gremlins and the Calumet Copper Kings. These two teams met back on January 18th. Both teams entered the game undefeated. Calumet came out swinging. They're on their home court, so Houghton is looking for revenge on this one. Thank you all so much for joining us, and have a good night.